So Mary, what happened after you left Grassington?
Well, I was at home and convalescing, of course, and told never to run if you were going to miss a bus or a train, you mustn't run. It was much safer if you walked. That was to save your lungs. So I was convalescing, and by this time 2 people had come to live in the black and white bungalow once again I think they came from Manchester, and Hubert Barron was art and architecture tutor at Clitheroe Boys Grammar School, and his cousin Mary had taken the sampler specialist embroidery shop in Clitheroe, and they used to go during the school holidays. They used to go with a good picnic out into the countryside, and they asked my mother if she thought that I would like to go with them. They thought the fresh air would be very good for me, and they used to love to go to Cockerham Sands or to Blackpool or somewhere right out into either the country or by the sea, and they took me on many occasions with them, and I developed quite a friendship with them for many years to come after that. But for a while I was at home and just having these trips out with them when it was possible, but Mrs. Mosley at the post office in Stopper Lane happened to say one day to my mother, "Do you think Mary would be willing to just come and help me a little bit, just to take the papers onto the village, to deliver the papers?" She thought that the exercise would be quite good for me, but it wouldn't be too much of a strain. So I started just every day taking the papers right up the village from Susie Corner right through to the other end of the village. And I did that for quite a while. And then Mrs. Mosley's husband had a stroke, and when I was fully recovered from the tuberculosis, she asked me if I would go to help her in the shop, and that began a period when I think I spent 12.5 years working at the post office, and I was signed on for the post office counters and served in the shop as well. So for 12.5 years I worked there, and it was then that this couple who came to live at the bungalow from Manchester said to me, "It's time you did something with your life because you are wasting your education."
Oh.
You had all those school certificates and you've wasted them. We're going to do something about it.
Really?
Yes. And at the time...
How old would you be when this all took?
I was about at the time that they started to talk a bit like this, I was about 32.
Oh.
And
like a strong hand, really.
Yeah. And the next thing I knew, these friends had moved to a house at Blackpool, but I was still very friendly with them, and they said, "We are going to ask our grocer's son to come and give you a talk about the mature students teacher training programme at Chorley College. And we're not having no for an answer from you because it's time you did something about your life. And
How did you feel about that?
I was terrified because I still didn't feel that I had the confidence to be in front of a class, never mind taking a course like that. Anyway, they wouldn't have no for an answer, and they asked James Barraclough, the grocer's son, to come and tell me all about the college, because he was in his 3rd year at Chorley.
Had experience.
Chorley Training College, and my mother very kindly said, if you want to go and take this training, she said, I will go and help Mrs. Mosley at the post office for a little while, and then it will help her, because she was absolutely distraught when I was going to leave.
Yeah. So your mum was quite supportive then, your mother. Yeah.
And so Mary and Hubert kicked me into touch. They really made me think carefully, and I spent 3 years travelling to Chorley. But by this time I was into driving, and because we'd never had a vehicle before, and so I was able to take myself daily to Chorley for 3 years. It was a shock to the system when you haven't been studying for all those years, and you're suddenly to devote your time. So I had to give up all my WI work, because I was always on the WI committee, and I'd taken various things on, and so I had to give a lot of my social time up, let's put it that way. But
You enjoy being a mature student?
Yes, I got used to it.
And I
thought I was rather old at 33 to 36 to be training, but quite a few of the gentlemen who were on the course particularly, and 1 or 2 of my friends as well, were much older than me and taking the same course, so I didn't feel quite so bad about it. So the people who came into the black and white bungalow, as I say, they both lots had a big influence on my life.
Very much so.
Yeah.